Hello friends, and welcome back to another video update with your favorite BCA host. I've got a weekend project video ready to share with you guys. Allow me to maneuver the camera this way and kind of give you a backstory of what's about to take place. I am a huge fan of film and video productions of all types, but for the longest time, I've been trying to crack the nut of what kind of video content I would want to make as a creator. So I did some meditating, did some digging in my past, and really thinking about the inspirations and the kind of core pieces that have made up my creative journey, as it were. So one of the biggest inspirations I grew up with was the film Beetlejuice by Tim Burton and a whole cast of excellent creative individuals who really established a believable, livable, just unique world in of itself. And the one thing that film starts up with is a fantastic musical score and a miniature flyover. For those who don't know film terminology, miniatures are basically what they sound like. They are miniature versions of large-scale sets or landscapes. You notice them when they're really, really bad, and you don't notice them when they're really, really good. And one of my goals going forward with the BCA is to work on video production projects, doing prop or other kinds of design services. In order to do that, I kind of need to prove that I can do that. So this weekend is that project at the very start. What you are seeing right now are the initial sketchworks for the idea itself, with some basic storyboards to follow, with a simple just track down shot and a push in on a set that contains moving boxcars, miniature boxcars to be exact, 4 with at least 1 with functioning opening doors. The whole point of this project is to do as much work in camera as possible. My goal is for that camera to be as simple as a cell phone camera. What you see here are the layouts for a interchangeable base that consists of a track, a platform that can be interchanged for up close detail work. The track, like I said, to cart moving boxcars across, which can be hand pulled, referring back to our handy dandy little graphic. And then a few slots in the back, or channels, as I've been naming them, channels that can contain just simple flat imagery to kind of give just a very simple distance effect, a sense of depth within the camera itself. So, like I said, my goal is to show video production. This is something that I want to open up my future video content. The overall idea is that you are pulled into the boxcar and subsequently into the BCA universe, where you get to be witness to some fascinating story or instructable or what have you, whatever comes down the way. I just want to have this up front so that I can attract work for future gigs, basically. What we have here is the drawing board, and as you notice, not a whole lot going on because we haven't done anything yet. Crazy concept. But we have our writing utensils, and we have a handful of tasks to complete. Namely, we need to establish the size and scope of what it is that we're building. We need to lay out and prepare the pieces that we're using, and then we need to basically get everything primed and prepped for imagery either being engraved or painted or some other prepared effects. In this case, we're going to be doing vector setups on the laptop and getting things ready to throw through a Glowforge. So this is the basics. This is where we're at sort of right now. I'm a little ahead of you guys because what would good film production be without with the host who is behind everybody else? Right now what we have are a series of found elements and other just things from around the shop that I use for other projects. But in this case, I have pulled wood plank samples from the wood shops downstairs, just from their scrap bins. I've got a few priming things, some brushes, and some other elements pulled out for other functional things. This piece here will act as our initial backdrop, so we'll be priming it and painting it with just a flat scene that will then use some of these other pieces to create trees and railroad crossing signs and other things out of. But initially, the work that we have done already is our base. So we have this amazingly detailed, very excellent reference piece for a boxcar with functioning, oh my gosh, open doors, closing doors. The only things that are missing are the little servos that we're going to need to make it happen via remote control once we're done with our initial project. So I'm going to tilt the camera just ever so slightly and kind of give you guys a sense of what it is that we're going to be doing. As I mentioned earlier, we have this plywood piece here, and in camera, sorry that this is not going to be as elegant as I intended to be, though, as you can see, we're going to be able to do this all in one single motion with proper equipment, and we're going to have a set that in camera you could not distinguish between life and this miniature scale model. The raw pieces, we have our references, and we have our already forged base here. And basically what's going on with this is we have our 5 channels. This big patch here with these 5 holes is our platform area, so it is these holes act as pegs for a bigger piece to sit into. This is our track, which doesn't have to be special, but it has these deep slots for our wheels and our boxcar to move on. And then these 2 channels here act as pieces for decorations to sit into, so you get a sense of depth. And this very back slot here is reserved for our plywood piece, which acts as our background. So that is where we are right now. It is Saturday night. We're moving into Sunday. I'm going to sit here and capture some more footage and show you kind of the process of how I'm going to sketch out what the hell I just talked about. So tune in for that update here in a day or so. Bye!